कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम
सेंटर में आ रहा है कि नहीं आ रहा?
हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम
जय राधा माधव
कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे
कुंज बिहारी जय
कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण
जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी जय यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजन यशोदानंदन यमुना तीरवनचारी यमुना यमुना तीरवनचारी हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Nitai Gauranga ki jai, Krishna Balaram ki jai, Lakshmi Narasimhadev, Anantadev ki jai, Srinivasa Govinda ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttamashloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naisthiki. Hare Krishna, reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 3, Text 11. Please repeat. Savismayot Phulla Vilochano Harim Sutam Vilokya Nakadundubhistada Krishnavatarotsava Sambhramosprishan Muda Dvijebhyo Yutama Pluto Gavam. Savismayot Phulla Vilochano Harim Sutam Vilokya Nakadundubhistada Krishnavatarotsava Sambhramosprishan Muda Dvijebhyo Yutama Pluto Gavam. Anakadundu Sutam Vilokya Nakadundubhistada Tam vilokyanakadundubhistada. Krishnavatarotsava sambhramosprishan. Udadvijabhyo gavam. Savismayotpulla vilochano harim. Sutam vilokyanakadundubhistada. Krishnavatarotsava sambhramosprishan. Mudadvijebhyo yutamapluto gavam. Savismayotpulla vilochano harim. Sutam vilokyanakadundubhistada. Krishnavatarotsava sambhramosprishan. Mudadvijebhyo yutamapluto gavam. Saha. He, Vasudeva, also known as Anakadundubhi, Vismayotpulla vilochanaha, his eyes being struck with wonder at the beautiful appearance of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Harim, Lord Hari, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Sutam, as his son. Vilokya, observing. Anakadundubihi, Vasudeva. Tada, at that time. Krishnavatarotsava, for a festival to be observed because of Krishna's appearance. Sambhramaha, wishing to welcome the Lord with great respect. Asprushat, took advantage by distributing. Muda, with great jubilation. Dvijebhyaha, to the Brahmanas. Ayutam, 10,000. Aplutaha, overwhelmed, surcharged. Gavam, cows. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Translation. When Vasudeva saw his extraordinary son, his eyes were struck with wonder. In transcendental jubilation, he mentally collected 10,000 cows and distributed them among the Brahmanas as a transcendental festival. Please repeat. When Vasudeva saw his extraordinary son, his eyes were struck with wonder. In transcendental jubilation, he mentally collected 10,000 cows and distributed them among the Brahmanas as a transcendental festival. Purport. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakura has analyzed the wonder of Vasudeva upon seeing his extraordinary child. Vasudeva was shivering with wonder to see a newborn child decorated so nicely with valuable garments and gems. He could immediately understand that the Supreme Personality of Godhead had appeared, not as an ordinary child, but in his original, fully decorated, four-handed form. The first wonder was that the Lord was not afraid to appear within the prison house of Kamsa, where Vasudeva and Devaki were interned. Second, although the Lord, the Supreme Transcendence, is all-pervading, He had appeared from the womb of Devaki. The third point of wonder, therefore, was that a child could take birth from the womb so nicely decorated. Fourth, the Supreme Personality of Godhead was Vasudeva's worshipable deity, yet had taken birth as his son. For all these reasons, Vasudeva was transcendentally jubilant, and he wanted to perform a festival as Kshatriyas do, to celebrate the birth of a child. But because of his imprisonment, he was unable to do it externally, and therefore he performed the festival within his mind. This was just as good. If one cannot externally serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one can serve the Lord within one's mind, since the activities of the mind are as good as those of the other senses. This is called the non-dual or absolute situation, Advaya Gnana. People generally perform ritualistic ceremonies for the birth of a child. Why then should Vasudeva not have performed such a ceremony when the Supreme Lord appeared as his son? Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin iti namine. Namaste Sarasvate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Jai Srila Prabhupada. So the Lord had appeared in the previous two verses. Sukadeva Goswami explains the Lord appearance most wonderfully. He explained that in the previous verse, you don't have to go there. Tam adbhutam balakam ambujekshanam. The Lord, he appeared as a adbhuta balaka. Adbhutam balakam with ambujekshanam, with his eyes like lotus petals. Chaturbhujam shanka gadadi udayudham. He appeared with 4 arms. Shanka chakra gada padma. Chaturbhujam shanka gadad yudayudham. And he had this symbol of Srivatsa Lakshmam on his chest, and Gala Shobhi Kaustubam, decorated with a Kaustuba jewel on his neck. Pitambaram Sandra Payoda Shaubhagam. He was wearing this Pitambaram, yellowish garments, and he had this complexion of this dark cloud. Maharha Vaidurya Kirita Kundala. He was decorated with brilliant kirita, the helmet, earrings. Tvisha Parishvakta Sahasra Kuntalam. His face is beautiful, forehead is beautiful, and he was appearing with scattered hair. Sahasra Kuntalam. Uddama Kanchi Angada Kankanadivihi. All these ornaments are there on his body, the waist belt, the ankle bells. And in this way he appeared Virochamanam, effulgent, so beautiful, as Vasudeva Aikshata, as Vasudeva was seeing. And then this verse comes. So Vasudeva Saha Vismayot Pulla Vilochanaha. So Vasudeva's situation is described. How is his situation? Especially his eyes are described. His eyes were with Vismaya. Vismaya mit wonder. Vismaya Utpulla means fully blossomed. Utpulla, blossomed. His eyes were like fully blossomed. So Vilochana means eyes. So his eyes were Saha Vismayot Pulla Vilochanaha. And what was he seeing with his eyes? Vilokya Harim, the Supreme Lord Hari, who appeared in this way. Adbhutam Balakam Ambujekshanam, who appeared as his son, Harim Sutam. Not just Hari he appeared as his son. And Tada, at that time, so he was seeing all this, and at that time what is running in his mind? Of course he became Muda Aplutaha. He became transcendentally happy and overwhelmed with that happiness. And he wanted to do something. What is that he wanted to do? Krishnavatarotsava Sambhramaha. Krishnavatara Utsava. He wanted to conduct the Utsava of Krishna Avatara, the appearance of the Lord, with great respect. Sambhramaha. That word is used in Brahma Samhita also. Anyone remembers? Shata Sambhrama Sevyamanam, which means these goddesses of fortune or gopis are always serving the Lord with great respect and great attention. Shata Sambhrama Sevyamanam. So like that, he wanted to do Krishnavatarotsava Sambhramo, but he could not do it obviously because he was in the prison house. So what he did instead? In the mind he distributed Dvijebhyo Ayutam Gavam Asprushat. He gave to these Brahmanas, Dvijebhyaha, Ayutam Gavam, means 10,000 cows. Asprushat, he distributed. So one word I missed out in this. What is that word I missed out? No, mentally, right. I was explaining each and every word in the Sanskrit. One word I missed out. Dvijebhya I explained. Gavam I explained. Muda, Apluta. Anaka Dundubihi. Saha Anaka Dundubihi. What is Anaka Dundubi? Another name for Vasudeva. Why is Vasudeva called Anaka Dundubi? Tatra Dundubhayo Neduhu. Dundubhaya means beating. Drums. Anaka means large drums. So Anaka Dundubi means beating large drums. What is that got to do with Vasudeva? So Prabhupada explains in the 9th canto, when Vasudeva was born, the demigods from heavenly planets sounded kettle drums. Therefore Vasudeva, who provided the proper place for the appearance of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, was also known as Anaka Dundubhi. Because the demigods knew that he was going to provide the proper place, or he was going to become the instrument or the means or the father of the Supreme Lord. Therefore, out of jubilation, the demigods started to beat these kettle drums, large drums, on that occasion of appearing Vasudeva. So he was called Anaka Dundubi. So now there are 4 reasons mentioned by Prabhupada from the commentary of Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur on why Vasudeva was looking with Vismaya, Vismayot Pulla Vilochana. Let's see if anybody had been attentive in. One is, let's see, Supreme Lord being born as his own son, his own Lord born as his son. Okay, second. Even though he's exact is, although he is all pervading, he had appeared from the womb of Devaki. Second one. Correct. First one. Let's say third one. He was not afraid to appear within the prison house of Kamsa, where Vasudeva and Devaki were interned. The fourth one? Yes, the fourth one was the Supreme Personality of God. Here is mentioned as third one. A child could take birth from the womb so nicely decorated. So these are the 4 reasons why he was wondering. That he already told. He already told that. All the 4 things we covered. So I'd like to highlight on one thing, which is, although the Supreme Transcendence, although the Lord, the Supreme Transcendence is all pervading, he had appeared from the womb of Devaki. So as we know, even in Narsimha's pastime, the Lord is all pervading, but he appeared through the pillar. So when Prahlad Maharaj was asked, is your Lord Vishnu there in this pillar? What did he say? He's there. He's everywhere, of course. Interestingly, in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna seems to say something else in 9th chapter. Maya tatam idam sarvam jagad avyakta murtina matsthani sarva bhutani nachaham teshvavasthitaha. So what does it mean? Maya, by me, tatam idam, maya tatam idam sarvam jagat avyakta murtina. I am spread everywhere, pervaded everywhere through this cosmic manifestation in avyakta murtina. Avyakta means unmanifested, unmanifested form. Nachaham tesh. What is the third line? Matsthani sarva bhutani. In this way, everything is situated in my energy, but I am there. Nachaham teshu avastita. I am not there. Na aham teshu avastitaha. Aham na avastitaha. I am not there. Isn't it? But Prahlad Maharaj seems to see Krishna everywhere. So how do we understand this? Huh? Yes, that's how Prabhupada explains. Like the energy is everywhere, but the energetic is in one place. But the devotee sees the energetic also everywhere. I gave this example in one of my Bhagavad Gita classes. I was once watching this truck. There was a truck driver inside the truck parked on the street. There was this child. He was scratching behind the truck. As usual, the children are mischievous. He was writing something, scratching. And suddenly I saw this truck driver come out and come behind this. And he saw this child and he started to chastise, yell at him and shoo him away. And the child started running and went away. And then I was thinking, so this driver is there somewhere in the front, but he knew that something is happening way back in the truck. Isn't it? Similarly, when we drive the car, even if suddenly somebody comes and slightly kisses the behind of the car, we will know, right? We will know that. Because even though I'm in the seat of the driver, my consciousness is spread entirely around the car. Isn't it? Anything happens to any part of the car, I know that. Similarly, the soul is situated where? In the body? In the heart region. But by dint of consciousness, the soul is spread everywhere. Even a small prick on the soles of our feet, immediately I know something happened. Because I am there everywhere in my body. I am not just in my heart. By dint of my consciousness, I am there everywhere. And anything happens to any part of the body, I react. I know. I am aware. And just like this driver came out of the front seat, he opened his door and came out to address the situation. Because he is a driver, he can only come out of the front seat. Because the Lord, he can come out from anywhere, isn't it? The Lord is there by his energy, as somebody said. He is present everywhere. It is the whole material manifestation, cosmic manifestation is his body. By dint of his energy, by dint of his consciousness, he is spread everywhere. And anything happens, any part of the body, he can come out from anywhere. So, the Lord can come out through the womb of Devaki. The Lord came out through the pillar because he is there. The Lord can also come out through the womb of Devaki. While this is true, it is also true that the devotee sees the Supreme Lord everywhere, because Prabhupada gives this wonderful example. Sthavara Jangama dekhe na dekhe tara murti. Sarvatra haya nija ishtadeve spurti. The devotee sees sthavara or jangama, or unmoving or moving entities. He only sees the Lord. Why? Because just like you love your child and the child is not there at home, you see his socks are strewn everywhere, his toys are there everywhere, his clothes are there everywhere. The moment you see his socks, oh my child, what must he be doing? The toy you see scattered everywhere, oh my child. You think of your child because you love your child. Any belonging of the child, you immediately think of your child. So everything in this world is the energy of the Lord, and immediately the person who has love for Krishna sees Krishna immediately. So Prahlad Maharaj was seeing Krishna because he is seeing this as Krishna's energy. So actually the other interesting aspect of Krishna appearing through the womb of Devaki, actually first he did not appear through the womb of Devaki. Where did he appear first? First in the heart of Vasudeva, mind of Vasudeva, and then he was transferred to the heart of Devaki. It is mentioned in the Bhagavan? Correct. Yes. So I'll read out that verse. So what he said is in the 10th chapter, 10th canto, 2nd chapter, 18th verse. So the fully opulent Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is all auspicious for the entire universe, was transferred from the mind of Vasudeva to the mind of Devaki. Devaki, having thus been initiated by Vasudeva. Initiated. What is the meaning of initiation? I'll read it out. So Devaki, having thus been initiated by Vasudeva, became beautiful by carrying Lord Krishna, the original consciousness for everyone, the cause of all causes, within the core of her heart, just as the east becomes beautiful by carrying the rising moon. So Prabhupada there mentions, we should note carefully that the Lord was transferred to Devaki not by the ordinary way for a human being, but by Diksha. Initiation. Thus the importance of initiation is mentioned here. Unless one is initiated by the right person, who always carries within his heart the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one cannot acquire the power to carry the Supreme Godhead within the core of one's own heart. See the importance of the right spiritual master. Initiation means it's not just formality. The person who is giving initiation should be able to carry the Supreme Lord within his heart always. Only that person is qualified to be Diksha Guru. It's not an ordinary thing. Formality anybody can conduct. Actually transferring Krishna to somebody's heart, nobody can do unless that person has Krishna. That is why we take that very, very seriously. Whom we take initiation from? Diksha. So, people, when they hear how the Supreme God is there, all pervading, He is appearing through the womb of Devaki, sometimes people might think, oh, you're all sentimentalists. God itself is a very abstract thing, and then you are making up, how can this be possible? So I was hearing this conversation yesterday between Prabhupada and his disciples. So Prabhupada was talking about the shloka from Bhagavatam, which some of you might be aware. It's about how each and every one of us should utilize our occupation in serving the Lord. Idam hipumsas tapasas shrutasya va svishtasya suktasya cha buddhi dattayoho avichyutordaha kavibhir nirupito yaduttama shloka gunanuvarnanam. So the right purpose of our occupation, whoever we may be a engineer or a doctor or a scientist, our avichyuto ardaha, infallible purpose of our occupation is uttama shloka gunanuvarnanam, to glorify Krishna with our occupation. So now the topic came, how can a scientist glorify Krishna? How can a scientist glorify Krishna? So Prabhupada was saying, scientists can also glorify Krishna. So you see, this law of gravitation is there. And he said, Prabhupada said, how this law of gravitation is working and how Krishna is making it work and making these planets float in the sky. If you can research and present it to the world and glorify Krishna, then you are doing, that is your avichyuto ardaha as a scientist. And now Prabhupada said, Krishna gave 2 clues in Bhagavad Gita already. Now you go and research. Krishna gives clues for every field in Bhagavad Gita. For scientists also he gave clues on how law of gravitation works. So he pointed out the 2 clues in Bhagavad Gita. How does gravitation work? 2 shlokas he identified. One from 11th chapter. 10th chapter, towards the end. And then 15th chapter. So what are those verses? That 15th verse is Gama Vishyacha Bhutani Dharayami Aham Ojasa. I enter by my energy, I enter into each and every orbit, and I am making these planets stay in their orbits. And then the other shloka Prabhupada pointed is the 10th chapter, the last but Vishtabhyaham idam kritsnam ekamshena sthito jagat. By my one portion, fragmental portion, I pervade everywhere and sustain everything. Vishtabhyaham, I enter, pervade. And then, and then Prabhupada was giving, actually he was like a scientist, he was explaining how a scientist can understand. So he gave this wonderful example. These balloons, say you leave these balloons, they float in the sky. What is it made of? Helium gas, say helium gas balloons. So ordinary balloon is lying without any gas, it's lying on, it's not floating. The moment you fill with helium gas, what happens? The balloon starts floating. So he said, if on ordinary helium gas can make an object float, is God less powerful than helium gas? So he can make the helium gas enter into these each and every planet, and the planets are floating. Why can't you understand like that? Very logical, isn't it? When I said whistle-worthy moments, these are the things Prabhupada comes up. It's like logical, rational, and very easy to think, very easy to understand. And then Prabhupada said, if you are really a scientist, you understand how the Krishna statement in 7th chapter, Rasoham apsu kaunteya, I am the taste of water. Right? And Prabhupada particularly pointed out how, say, you are very thirsty and somebody comes and gives you nice juice. Will your thirst be satisfied with the juice? As much as it is with water, you will want only water. And when you drink water nicely, one full glass of water, you will feel wonderful happiness. That wonderful quenching of thirst, that nothing can beat it, isn't it? That quenching of thirst, that taste of water when you actually quench your thirst, that is Krishna. Can anybody do that? And Prabhupada gave this funny example. We are also producing water with our bodies. Perspiration. If you run or doing kirtan, whatever, you perspire and produce. But will anybody take that perspiration and quench his thirst? But the Lord's water produced from the Lord, it quenches your thirst. And that is the difference. Nor can anybody, you can mix hydrogen and oxygen. Somebody said, I can mix hydrogen and oxygen and produce water. And then Prabhupada said, so first, who provided that amount of hydrogen, that amount of oxygen to make these huge oceans? So you are mixing by readily available things, but who is producing this? And then that person asked Mr. Martin, so you're saying all of this, but can I see God? So Prabhupada is answering, can I see God? That question, Prabhupada said, how can this be done? Prabhupada said, you have to be qualified. Martin, how can you be qualified? Prabhupada, this is the process going on in this Krishna consciousness movement. You become devotee, you follow the rules and regulations, the prescribed method, you will see God. See what is Prabhupada saying? You follow the rules and regulations, you will see God. Usually Prabhupada says, if you follow bhakti, you will see God. Only by bhakti you will see God. Krishna also says. But why here Prabhupada is saying rules and regulations? I bring this up because very interesting thing is hidden here. Very interesting thing. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, we all know Bhakti Lata Bija is talked about. Only by great fortune one gets in touch with a bona fide spiritual master. What is that shloka? Brahmanda Brahmite Kona Bhagyavan Jeev Guru Krishna Prasade Paye Bhakti Lata Bij. By great fortune, you will meet a bona fide spiritual master who will plant Bhakti Lata Bija in your heart. And then you have to water it. Shravana Kirtana Karaya Shechana. You have to water it. So now, what is that Bhakti Lata Bija? What exactly is that Bhakti Lata Bija? Prabhupada talks in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Very interesting. He says, Bhakti Lata Bija means the seed of devotional service. Everything has an original cause or seed. For any idea, program, plan or device, there is first of all contemplation of the plan, and that is called the bija or the seed. And now see what he says. The methods, rules and regulations by which one is perfectly trained in devotional service constitute the Bhakti Lata Bija or the seed of devotional service. So what does he say? The methods, rules and regulations by which one is perfectly trained in devotional service constitute the Bhakti Lata Bija. Srila Prabhupada. So what is Bhakti Lata Bija? The methods, rules and regulations by which one is perfectly trained in devotional service. So in other words, Bhakti Lata Bija is not something which is some illusory concept or some sentiment, or the spiritual master is my life and soul. Yes, you may have all of that, but at the core, it is the methods he gives, the rules and regulations he gives. If you follow it nicely, that is when you are actually sowing that seed strongly in your heart. That is why Prabhupada is saying, the process, this Krishna consciousness movement, you become devotee, you follow the rules and regulations, the prescribed method, you will see God. So another important point, we are running out of time. How much time? Okay, so we have some time. So the class title I gave as service done, I think I'm paraphrasing. Service done with our mind is as good as service done with our senses, physically. Because it is mentioned here. Because what did Vasudeva do? We missed out that aspect in the purport. He meditated, he could not physically give the cows. He meditated and he donated 10,000 cows to these Brahmanas. So there Prabhupada mentions, if one cannot externally serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one can serve the Lord within one's mind, since the activities of the mind are as good as those of the other senses. This is called the non-dual or absolute situation, Advaya Gnana. So I came across this while reading this Navavidha Bhakti. Prabhupada writes this again, another most wonderful thing. Very, very interesting. So while writing this, one of these Navavidha Bhakti aspect, which is Dasyam. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam, Padasevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam. Okay, I'm getting 10, but 9 totally. So Dasyam, right? One of the seventh. Seventh is Dasyam. So what Prabhupada says about Dasyam, there is the following statement in regard to assisting the Lord as a servant. Dasyam means as a servant. After many, many thousands of births, when one comes to understand that he is an eternal servant of Krishna, one can deliver others from this universe. Okay, and now comes. If one simply continues to think that he is an eternal servant of Krishna, even without performing any other process of devotional service, if one simply continues to think that he is an eternal servant of Krishna, simply continues to think he is an eternal servant of Krishna, even without performing any other process of devotional service, he can attain full success. For simply by this feeling, one can perform all 9 processes of devotional service. Simply by that feeling. What is that feeling? That I am an eternal servant of Krishna. If one continues to think, of course that is also an elevated, one may think, it's very easy. To constantly serve Krishna in our mind is actually highlighted by Krishna as the highest stage in Bhagavad Gita. In 6th chapter. Arurukshor muner yogam karma karana muchyate yoga rudhasya tasyaiva shamah karana muchyate. What does he say? There are beginning stages and ending stages of yogic perfection. They are called Aruruksha and Arudha. Yoga Aruruksha and Yoga Arudha. The beginning stage, Yoga Arurukshor Muner Yogam Karma Karana Muchyate. Physically you engage in karma or activity or service. Karma Karanam. Yoga Arudhasya, one who has advanced, Yoga Arudhasya tasyaiva Shamaha Karanam Muchyate. Shamaha means there is no activity. It is only always thinking in mind. Of course, Krishna also says that even though the great souls, they don't have to do anything to prove, they are already advanced, but still they act to set people the right example. 3rd chapter, Krishna says. What is that? Yadyad achariti shreshtas tattad devetaro janaha sayat pramanam kurute lokastad anuvartate. Because they want to set the right example. So this is a very high stage. One should not imitate. In our stage, we should physically, as much as possible, we should render sincere loving service to Krishna. Whatever services assigned to us, one should not artificially think, I'll meditate and achieve that. Even though devotional service is ahaituki apratihata. Even though you are bound in one place, you can still perform the service mentally. For whatever reason you are not able to do, mentally do the service. Like the standard wonderful example that we all know, Rupa Goswami gives in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu of this Brahmana. In which town? Offering here in Pratishtanpura. So he heard that you can render service to Krishna within your mind. So he started to build this beautiful throne for Krishna. Divya Dhrundaranya Kalpadrumada Srimad Ratnagara Simhasanasthav. So just like Narasimhananda Brahmachari in Chaitanya Charitamrita, he got to know that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is traveling to Vrindavan. After he came from South India, back to Puri, the Lord wanted to go to Vrindavan. So what did Narasimhananda Brahmachari do? To make the Lord's journey all comfortable, he started to make the roads beautiful, clean and neat. And actually not just ordinary brick roads, jeweled roads. He was laying jewels along the path. And he was meditating, the Lord was traveling. And then he was doing that every inch of the way. And after a while, he went to this place called Kanai Natshala in Bihar province. He could not lay the road further. And then he told his people, associates there, the Lord is coming back. He's not going to Vrindavan. He'll come back from Kanai Natshala. The people are all wondering, what are you saying? You're not even near the Lord. The Lord already is en route to Vrindavan. And then actually it happened. The Lord came back from that place. Because Sanatan Goswami, he gave that advice to the Lord, my Lord, it's not good to go with so many followers, both for your own sanity as well as for people's talking ill things about you. So the Lord said, it's not the right time to go, let me go back to Puri. He comes back to Puri. And then people wonder, oh, Narasimhananda Brahmachari is absolutely right. That means the devotee, by dint of his perfection, just like this Brahmana in Pratishtanpura, he was offering everything the Lord. He was getting golden and silver jugs with river water from, we usually invoke the mantras, right? What is that mantra? Narmada, Kaveri, the mantra we invoke? Huh? Gange cha yamune chaiva Godavari Saraswati Narmade Sindhu Kaveri Jalesmin Sanidhim Kuru. We use the mantra. But he was actually going everywhere and collecting. Eventually he attained perfection. The Lord took him back. That is the power of service through the mind. So we'll stop here. They're ready for Aarti. Gandraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol.